So today's video is about sunscreen, and I know a lot of you have probably heard so many things about sunscreen. A lot of the gurus on YouTube, dermatologists, people at makeup and cosmetic counters, they're always telling people to wear sunscreen. And really there's so many reasons why. When you're older and you have skin discoloration, hyperpigmentation, wrinkles, crow's feet, your décolleté and neck are sagging, all of that is from sun damage. If you can easily access something that can prevent all of that, then I think it's a very important thing to invest in. One of the reasons why it is good for acne-prone skin is the scarring. And I'm talking about the surface scarring, not the crater-type scars, because there's really two different kinds of scars. The surface scarring is when you have a pimple or pustule and it pops and you have that kind of rough skin left over, and then once that flakes off, usually you'll have, on darker people, usually be a darker spot. On people like me, it's a red spot on my skin, and I always have to cover those up with makeup, and it's so annoying. And the reason why those are darker is from the sun. The sun is going to damage that skin faster, darken it, because it doesn't have that extra layer over it, and it's going to take longer for those scars to go away. So that's another reason why you should invest in a sunscreen. People with acne, they feel like sunscreen is their worst enemy because it's going to make your skin greasy. A lot of them are going to break you out, and it's just not worth it. But in the long run, it is. Your acne is not going to stay with you forever and ever and ever, but sun damage will. So if you can go ahead and prevent that now, even if it does make you look like a grease ball during the day, if you find the right one, maybe not, then down the road, your skin, yourself in general, you'll appreciate that you started using a sunscreen now. And I can't emphasize that enough, how important it is. Not even just for the preventative measures as far as wrinkles and hyperpigmentation and all of that stuff. It's really, skin cancer is always a possibility. And I'm not just talking about Caucasian people. I'm talking about all ethnicities, even African Americans. You can get the hyperpigmentation, the dark spots on your skin. If you want to prevent that, wear an SPF on your face. Wrinkles are across the board in all ethnicities, and that is from sun damage. I'm here to talk to you today about some that I have personally used, and you all know that I have an acne-prone skin, and I'm constantly working on my skin to keep it clear. These are some that I have used over the years. The first one is Clinique. It's SPF 50, and this is UVA, UVB protection. The UVB rays are what burn you, give you a sunburn, and the UVA rays are actually what cause skin cancer and the premature wrinkling and everything like that. So as far as Clinique, and I had this little stick, and this stick is really good to use on your hands, because hands, that's the first place that you notice sun damage, is your hands. Because a lot of people don't think to put sunscreen on them. So when you're older, if you look at your parents or your grandparents and you see how their hands have all the age spots and wrinkles and loose skin, that's because it wasn't protected over the years. So these little stick things are good for that. Clinique all around is an awesome sunscreen. It never really broke me out too horribly. I did notice that if I used it consecutively over a week or so, I would get a pimple or two, but nothing too horrible. It made my skin so greasy. And that is my number one issue with skin sunscreen, is the greasiness. Clinique, it just made me a grease ball, which is why I still go to it if I'm going to the beach or something, because, I still do have a tube of it. But for a daily sunscreen, it's not my number one choice, but it still is an amazing brand. And if you have more of a drier complexion, then you might want to look into this. Another one I used is the Doctor. And the reason why I chose this is because it has willow bark in it, which is salicylic acid and willow bark are very similar. So it's supposed to help clear your skin, and it's supposed to leave behind a matte finish. And it did not on my skin. It also made my skin very, very greasy. It has the SPF of 30, so it did give me the sun protection, but I also found that it did kind of break me out, more than the Clinique. So I'm not sure if the willow bark was really doing its job, but I actually use this on my neck and décolleté now, so I don't waste it. But overall, good sunscreen, but maybe it just wasn't compatible with my skin. The next one is the Ultra Sheer Neutrogena. The reason why I got this one was because it is so sheer, and you can kind of see on my hand how it's really like liquidy and runny, and it just blends in right away, and it's supposed to be really good under makeup. So this is a really good one for under your makeup. It is a cheaper option. I believe it's $10 or under, and it's an SPF of 70, so that's I mean, really, really high, and that's going to give you the SPF protection that you need, and it's lightweight. The only thing about it is also it made my skin greasy, and I already have an oily complexion, so just adding on top of that, I just like hate it. Overall, good sunscreen though for the price. Neutrogena is really the way to go. These other sunscreens that I've mentioned before, they are awesome. I would kind of choose them over Neutrogena, but if you're thinking about like a price thing, go with Neutrogena. Now, onto the one that I love. This is Hope Oil Free by Philosophy, and it looks like that. And I love this sunscreen. It is a oil-free moisturizer SPF 30. And you don't need to get this confused with the Hope in a jar, because that is not oil-free, it's not made for acne-prone skin, and it will break you out. And it will leave your skin like a grease ball, because I've used it before, and it's not as good as this product. So they reformulated it to have an oil-free, and I have been using this sunscreen for 2 months now. I want to say about 2 months, and it, out of all of the sunscreens that I've used in my lifetime, this does not make my skin as greasy as all the other ones. I don't know what it is, but it's amazing. And you can kind of see, it's like a off-white, and I think it's really just like the texture. I mean, it is just kind of like a moisturizer with SPF built in, and this does not, I mean, I wear it every single day, and I don't get burned on my face or neck, so I highly, highly suggest this, and it has not broken me out. Now, everybody's skin is different, so, like, you know, one of these that might make my skin greasy and broken out and stuff, it might not work for you, but on the overall scale, this is the best one that I've tried. And those are my kind of like little reviews on sunscreens that I've used. And just to like emphasize again, sunscreen is so important. And I know a lot of you are sitting there like, oh, like, you know, it makes me break out, it leaves my skin greasy. You know, down the road, 10 years from now, if you want your skin to still look young as far as wrinkles and hyperpigmentation and stuff like that, and maybe you'll find the miracle cure for your acne, then you need to invest in a good sunscreen now. Better late than never. So another thing is always wear your sunscreen on cloudy days, rainy days, snowy days, sunny days. You don't need to wear your sunscreen just in the springtime or summertime, because if you can see your hand in front of your face when you're outside, there are rays out there that can damage your skin in some way or another. So always wear your sunscreen, rain or shine, and your skin will love you 10 years from now. I want to be sure to wear it like all the... Is that an M&M? There's an M&M on my dress, but it's camouflaged. Okay, look, I'll show you. Do you see the M&M? It's the same color as my dress. It's really weird. Yeah. I don't remember what I was saying anymore.